Question number 27. This is one of my favorite questions from the whole paper, and I'm going to discuss it slightly differently. Let me read the question. The arrangement of 4 resistors of equal value in the diaphragm of a physiological pressure measurement catheter is shown below. The applied pressure is observed to cause an increase in length of resistors R2, R4 and an increase in cross-sectional area in resistance R3 and R1. The operation results in an equal change in the values of all 4 resistors, which among the configuration given below should be used to connect the resistors to form a Wheatstone bridge so that the bridge output voltage is proportional to the change in resistance of individual resistors. Okay, so let me say the answer for this one. Based on the key, the answer for this is right only option A, which is only the circuit 1 is the right answer. Only this will give a voltage that's proportional to, let's say, a difference in resistance is X. Only this particular circuit number 1, will give such an voltage. Now let's try to go and write the actual potential difference. It's a simple Wheatstone bridge, right? Okay, let's say we have an applied voltage Vi and the measured output voltage is V0. Okay, V0 is nothing but difference between potential here and potential here. Can you find the potential here? Yes, we can use the voltage divider rule, right? R1 by total resistance, R1 plus R2. Similarly, we can write the potential here and we can take the difference between them. In fact, so V0 will be difference between 2 voltages. First is take Vi, split it in the ratio of R1 plus X by the whole resistance, right? R1 plus X plus R2 plus X, where X is a change in resistance. It's equal for all 4 values, so I have it as X for all these resistors. So this point, this voltage minus this voltage, which is R4 plus X by whole resistance, R4 plus X plus R3 plus X, right? Agree? Okay, and that times, of course, the voltage that get divided is the input voltage Vi. Okay, at this stage, okay, this expression looks a bit slightly nasty. It's not going to lead you anywhere. Let's introduce some assumptions. That is, let's say the base value of all 4 resistances are the same. That's R1 equals R2 equals R3 equals R4. Okay, this is a very good assumption because that's how, in fact, this strain gauge based Wheatstone bridges are designed. So I'm going to remove these differences: R1, R2, R2, R4, R4, R3. So we have R plus X by R plus X, R plus X, R plus X by R plus X, R plus X. Okay, one way to justify this assumption is, given any 4 resistance, this circuit should work. I might as well pick special case where all resistances are equal. Okay, now we notice, at least in this special case, V0 becomes 0, right? So the difference between this and this is 0. So we end up with this absurd situation that for the circuit 1, V0 is 0. Then there is something going wrong, right? But the correct answer, in fact, is this particular circuit. So where are we going wrong? Pause this video, take a moment to think about it. There is some issue, some mistake that I have deliberately made here. That is the key to the answer. Okay? So the answer is this. In actual, this whenever 4 resistors are arranged in a diaphragm, okay, R4 and R2 change their length, right? Increase their length. So let's say the change in values is X. Okay, these R1 and R2 usually are arranged perpendicular to R4 and R2. So if they increase in length, they increase in cross section, right? Area. When cross sectional area increases, their length actually decreases. This is like the Poisson's ratio, right? So if their length increases, R1 and R3 should decrease. So this should be minus X, and of course S plus X. Even though values change by the same amount, for R4 and R2 they increase, for R1 and R3 they decrease. So let's go back and make that correction over here. So R1 minus X, okay, R1 minus X and R2 plus X. Then R4 plus X R4 plus X and R1 minus X. Okay, so this is a correct expression for the output voltage because two of them will increase resistances, the other two will decrease, but by the same amount. Okay, now having said this, now this becomes a much easier expression. So this is just 2R in the denominator, 2R in the denominator. We notice what we have in the numerator is actually the R's will get cancelled, minus 2X by 2R in the denominator. So we get a voltage that's proportional to X for circuit number 1. Okay, this is a very tricky problem. Try to look at the explanation again and try to explain why circuit 2 is not the right answer. Okay.